Hello, everyone. We should be live. As I say, I'm experimenting with these live streams at the moment, so I do hope you do enjoy. And also, your comments will flash up on screen at some point during this live. If you do comment as well, I'm sure it'll be nice to get your opinions. And also, additionally, I'm also going to put out a tweet just to let everyone know that we are live on YouTube as well. I'm sure that you lot will enjoy it. I hope that you lot will enjoy it. And I hope that you're all well on this, quite fine weather today. It's not too bad. But welcome to all of you. I think there's two of you currently in the live as well. Good morning to you. It's still morning by about half an hour. And anyone who is watching this on a delay and is watching this back as a video in the future, we're currently live at 11:29 on Friday the 1st of August. So if you are watching this back, some things may not be accurate to what you're currently hearing, but this video is active. So yeah. Yes, Charlie, mate, welcome in, John Doe. Good morning to all of you. I hope you're all well. There's been a lot going on. It's fair to say. I think there's been a lot going on by way of Wolverhampton Wanderers. Also, I would very much appreciate it if any of you could drop maybe a share on Twitter or social media. I am just going to quickly put a tweet out about this live, just so people can come in really and share their opinions. Also, I'm sure people will enjoy it. It's a little bit laggy. That might be because I've got too many windows open, mate. Just let me check that for you now. And tell me what you think of it now. Is it still lagging? Are we still lagging? That's the question. Are we still lagging? I don't think we are. I hope we're not. On my end, I don't think we are. Let me just double check on YouTube as well on my end, because that will also determine whether we are laggy or not. On YouTube as well on my end, because that will... It doesn't seem to be laggy now. I hope that's fixed it. Doesn't seem to be that laggy on my end of YouTube. Let me just double check that. Laggy now. That's fixed it. Doesn't seem to be that laggy on my end of YouTube. Let me just double check that. Laggy now. Maybe. Yeah, maybe it's a little bit laggy. Yeah. Does it affect the live is the question. I hope it doesn't. I've quite a few windows open, so I've closed as many of them as I can. And this is my first time using StreamYard for a live and something that's not a podcast. Alpha looks a player, don't you think? Yeah, massively, mate. Really exciting signing. And a good fee. Really good fee, in my opinion. A really nice, reasonable fee for a player of that quality. Just going to quickly put out a tweet. Is it still lagging? Because if it is still lagging, I will just jump off because I don't want to make your viewing experience worse. I do hope that it's okay, though. It's really come out of nowhere. Completely agree. Completely agree, mate. It has come up out of nowhere. This is where it gets interesting, Leighton. This is where it gets interesting. Now, I have seen Juanlu Sanchez, and I have watched a hell of a lot of Juanlu Sanchez as well. Massive fan of this. Now, obviously, the sticking point is the fact that Napoli wanted him and had an agreement in place a long time ago. I think it was last summer, actually, or in January as well. And generally, he's been sort of touted to go to Napoli for a long time. So that is the worry. Now, on the flip side of that, it's almost a battle. You sort of got to look at it as, trophies and success in Italy could be likely. More game time will also be likely at Wolves. Obviously, they're looking at Juanlu Sanchez as a Di Lorenzo replacement, so they can bleed him when Di Lorenzo does ultimately leave or retire. So it makes perfect sense for them as well. The one thing I would say about Napoli, though, is as good as they are as a club, and obviously they've come off the back of winning the league, Antonio Conte in his second season is notoriously not particularly great, to be honest. So there is that as well, really. in terms of his second season, he doesn't tend to, tends to fall out with people, if we're being completely honest. Very laggy stream, mate. Is that the case? Is it still lagging? I think people said it was fine now, but is it still lagging? If it is, like I say, we'll jump off because I don't want to affect anyone's. Very laggy stream, mate. Is that the case? Is it still lagging? I think people said it was fine now, but it does look laggy. If it is, like I say, we'll jump off because I don't want to affect. Does look laggy. You are correct. I will jump off soon then if that's the case, because I don't want to, like I say, affect your viewing experience. I hope it sorts itself out. It might also be because I'm talking quite quickly as well. So it could also be that. So I might try and slow the talking down maybe. And like I say, I'm using a different streaming software this time. So yeah. But I do think with the Napoli stuff, obviously Conte notoriously in his second season, it is very dicey. It gets awkward. It gets tense, and it gets sort of. That wasn't lag. That was me stuttering. Okay, but no, yeah, I think it gets very dicey in Conte's second season, so that's something to consider as well. I think for him, if he's looking at it, obviously everyone wants to play under Antonio Conte. Really, it's one of them managers that you almost guarantee the trophy if you're playing under him. But if you're in his second season, it does look quite risky. High all fuming Wrexham are signing Cody, 2 million, I believe, for Connor Cody, which is very interesting. Do you see Sasa being backup number 9 or us signing a player who plays 10 and 9? See, I mean, Adley is that player that plays 10 and 9. I don't think the Adley deal will go through anymore, though. Ultimately, I think one of the strikers at the club will be the backup, ultimately, unfortunately. But because I don't think many of them are that good enough, too much good enough, really. But bargain of the century is worth just 2 mil for his leadership. Yeah, for a newly promoted championship club, definitely. Thoughts on the Sanchez link? Josh, I have raved about Juanlu Sanchez for a long time. His versatility is outrageous. Now, for those of you who haven't seen a lot of Juanlu Sanchez, I'm just going to quickly flash your screen, comment up on the screen there, Josh. For those of you who haven't seen a lot of Juanlu Sanchez, he is a very, very exciting player. Now, he can play right back, he can play right wing, and that's one thing you will see a lot on Twitter at the minute, is that he can play them 2 positions. Now, the next layer to this is the fact that Juanlu Sanchez can play as a right back, he can play as a right winger, he can play as a 6, an 8, a 10, a second striker, and a left winger. In terms of those positions, he hasn't played them all a ridiculous amount, but he's played 15 games in central midfield. I think he's played about 6 or 7 as a 6. He's played as a 10. He's played as a second striker, as I've said, and generally is really comfortable all over the park. So there's a few reasons to be excited, and that's definitely one of them, especially with Wolves lacking in certain areas. He's one that can cover all of them. Yeah, it is lagging, isn't it? I've just realised. That is very frustrating. Okay. Also, if you are in here, everyone, let me know in the comments, more importantly as well. I really appreciate it. If you would like to see a video on Juanlu Sanchez, on just Juanlu Sanchez. Now, this link, again, it looks unlikely, really, just because of the clubs that have been in and are currently in for him. But I think it's one you'd love to see. I do think it's one you'd love to see, and I think it's one you'd appreciate seeing. I think it's such an exciting potential deal, and ultimately it could happen to be that it is agent talk again, and it's trying to boost the price up and the wage up for the player, and most importantly, the agent fee for the agent as well. But I do think in terms of a player, it's an extremely exciting link, and I would love to hear your thoughts, whether you would like to see a video on it, really. And then obviously, the Merla Volfa video did so well last night. So thank you for all your support on that. I do try to put out good content for you guys, really, and I do hope you enjoy it. But yeah, like I say, his versatility. I mean, if you're looking at, you pick up say Wolves bring in a backup midfielder this season that Wolves fans have been crying out for. Say they bring in a backup midfielder. Then you get to a position through the season where maybe the backup midfielder gets injured and suddenly Herver's development's looking okay. you also have the flexibility to then go, do you know what? It's not ideal, but we can deal with the injury crisis by playing Sanchez in midfield, and playing Herver at right back for a few games if it's just a 1 or 2 week injury. So that's not an ideal situation. I'm not praying for an injury, but I'm just saying in terms of cover across multiple positions, I think that signing would be unbelievable. And as a footballer, he is exceptional. And for Sevilla, he's been absolutely brilliant in, let's be honest, what's been a really, really tough period of time for Sevilla now. Going through extreme sort of difficulty with ownership, with chairmans, with fans as well. I think fans stormed into the training ground not too many months ago now, expressing their frustration with the owner, the chairman, the sporting director, and everyone sort of involved in the club, really. So, again, probably could be opportunistic in that aspect in terms of picking up for a relatively reasonable fee. I think it was around 17 million euros, which, by the way, if Juanlu Sanchez is available for 17 million euros, it's just an absolute no-brainer. You look at the price, I mean, what's that, 14 million quid maybe? 15, 14, somewhere around there. 14 million quid, I'd say, probably around that. With add-ons, you maybe look at 20 million euros, maybe, if they ask for add-ons. But even then, I mean, just whoever gets Juanlu Sanchez this summer is getting a real top deal. But yeah, feel free to ask me about anything, really. I might just highlight Shawry's comment there because I think it's a good talking point for a few people. Connor Cody, yeah, bit of a crazy one, really. £2 million to Wrexham, and to be fair, I think he'd be decent. He wasn't, he wasn't pulling up trees and unbelievable for Leicester in the Championship. But again, he's very decent. He's still Championship level, if not lower Premier League level. I'd probably argue that. But really, sorry, you're not boring me. But yeah, I think it's a good deal for Wrexham. I think 2 million's all right as well. Obviously, the wages will be not astronomical, but they're not going to be minimal. Are they? So reckon Wrexham will go up? No, not for me, mate. Last season, Wrexham ultimately weren't that good. They just had a really decent squad. They lost 8 games in the league, in League One. So, yeah, and I think it looks like they're bringing in Kiefer Moore. Again, a really proven Championship striker, but 4 million quid for Kiefer Moore still feels quite steep. 33 years old, didn't come off the back of his best season for Sheffield United, although he was still useful for them. So, yeah, who from Liverpool would be a good, realistic fit for Wolves? What a question, James. As you can see, I am representing the shirt today, but that's because the new one's come out. Yeah, I mean, there's loads. I mean, realistic is the sticking point. I think Tyler Morton's a realistic sign. I said that in my homegrown video. I think Tyler Morton would be great. But again, the only way it might not be realistic, and not because he wouldn't go to Wolves, is because he wants to play week in, week out. And if you've got that midfield of Andre Gomez, he's not going to be playing week in, week out. Although I do think he's absolutely good enough to be playing for a Premier League team in and around the bottom half comfortably. So Tyler Morton would be one that I'd look at. If I was Wolves. I said Kelleher numerous times about a year ago, 2 years ago, to be honest. How on earth Wolves didn't go in for Kelleher is beyond me. Obviously, goalkeeper is nowhere near the priority at the moment. It's not even in the top 3 or 4 priorities at the moment. But in terms of around that time, Saar was making a lot of mistakes. Johnston, they were looking at that time, and I touted him to go to Wolves. And then ultimately, they've signed Sam Johnston for 10 mil. They're going to probably go near good enough. And Kelleher has only cost Brentford 18 million, which is a brilliant deal. If Brum go up, we sell Tommy Doyle for 10 mil. Yes, indeed, mate. That is a very interesting one for me. It's mind-boggling, really. When you look at the 50% sell-on clause that Manchester City have on Tommy Doyle's profit, any profit made from Tommy Doyle, Wolves are end up making around 2.5 million quid profit out of Tommy Doyle, which is a bit ludicrous in itself, in my opinion. But yeah, if it is lagging, I apologise, Josh. I will jump off if it is lagging. Oh, it is lagging, yeah. Oh, I think it's the ticker tape. Damn. I think it's the ticker tape and stuff. It's because I'm trying new streaming software and I want to try and get a ticker tape on there. But if it's not going to work, I will jump off soon because I know it can be quite a painful viewing experience for those who who are watching, which is a real shame, to be honest. It's a real shame because I enjoy doing these streams. Goalkeeper should be a priority, though. We're a star injury away from having League One keepers at best as the next option. Exactly, James. Oh, yeah, I agree. There's an echo. Is there an echo? Let me just watch that back, mate. Oh, no, sorry, Dylan. Dylan, sorry. I've just played the video on my phone. It's not an echo. Sorry. That's me being... I feel like I've soldiered down the river there a bit. But no, it was me playing it on my phone to check if I was lagging. We ain't getting rid of players the right way. I mean, yeah. I mean, look at some of the players. I mean, I think it was a few players who scored similar goals to Fabio Silva last season, for example, in La Liga, going for around 30, 35 million euros. So, but Wolves are going to probably get 15 to 20 for him. Obviously, contract and it being publicly known that really he's not that fussed about staying at Wolves will obviously play a part as well. But yeah, I still think it's quite a low. You know, the fees that have been banded around for Fabio are really low. Make a video about Sanchez. I will be, yes. When would you like to see that? Would you like to see it this afternoon? Would you like to see it tomorrow? Because the news might be irrelevant tomorrow. He could easily sign for Napoli today, and that'll be it. So I usually, at the minute, I'm tending to do one video in the morning, one in the afternoon. But obviously, I start my new job on Monday, so a lot of the videos are going to be early morning, evening from now on, I think. I don't think we need forwards unless they sell some attackers they already have. Yeah, Wolves will let go of the attackers. I think a few of them, and I think out of those four really that are around the club, Guedes, Silva, Sasa, and Hwang, I think two of them go. Personally, I think two of them go. So that's again leaves you a bit light, and you are very top heavy, and the quality of the forward line is really not that great. John Arias makes a big difference to that, though, of course. Good to see us in for another right back, but you know what's going to happen with other clubs in. The thing is, Thomas, is Juanlu Sanchez is just top level. That's one of the sticking points, really. Yeah, he's just top level, and he's been wanted by Napoli for so long now. So that's the risk. I don't know if you can you lot hear that on your end, the notifications or not. Let me know as well, because they're all pinging off all of a sudden. But let me know what you think, because I don't know if you can hear them on your end or if it's just on my screen. Do let me know about that, because I'm getting notifications pop up. I don't want you to hear them, really, because it might make it an unenjoyable experience. Oh, you can? Okay, I'm just going to put that on Do Not Disturb then. That is my bad. That is my bad. There's a rumour someone wants Strand Larson. Yes, there is, mate. Newcastle. Only one I care about is Larson. Juan Guedes, Fabio can all go. I'd love to see Sasa stay around. I think Fabio, Guedes, and Juan are the three most likely to go, but the Juan stuff's died down a hell of a lot. So I wouldn't have thought he'll go. There's not really that many links with him. Yes, Tyler, mate, how are we? You said afternoon there, Tyler. I'm just gonna bait you out in front of everyone. It's 11:45, mate. All right. It's quite the afternoon. Take a chill pill. But yeah, I do think two of those will leave. Maybe three, but like I say, the stuff with Hwang has died down a lot. There's not that many links, so there's not that many links. Hwang is a confidence player. Yeah, I think Wolves should have sold Hwang when they did. Personally, when they had the opportunity to Marseille, I think that would have been the best time to cut ties with him. Personally, off the back of a good season, his stock was relatively high. We're going to get about 20 million quid for Hwang, which for me, I don't think Wolves are getting anywhere near that now. Maybe 10, 11, maybe 12, something like that. I don't think Wolves will get anywhere near 20 mil for Hwang now, which is the problem. That is the problem. So I think Hwang will stay around out of all of them. I think Sasa could go on loan. I think Hwang and Sasa are the two most likely to stay around out of those four. For me, I just don't see Fabio and Guedes staying. I mean, Fabio's not played a minute of pre-season. Do you know what I mean? So I think that says it all. And then Guedes, Guedes is gone. Let's be honest, really. He's going to go to Sociedad. He's going to probably do all right at Sociedad as well. And then everyone will go, oh, look what we've lost. But ultimately, he's never really wanted to be at the club. He's never really looked like he wanted to be at the club, other than the pre-season at the moment, which feels a bit PR to me as well. Having worked in PR for football clubs at some levels as well, I would be very surprised if it wasn't PR-driven media, really. I'm just going to have a little check on the YouTube channel while we're here as well, because obviously it's been incredible support on YouTube at the moment. It's outrageous, to be honest. It's quite frankly outrageous. The support has been absolutely incredible, and I genuinely couldn't ask for a better community to grow. And that's not me, and I'm not one of these people that says fan base or followers or anything like that. Like, I want to build a community here by making content. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm aiming to do. And we've got a really good community going so far. And fan base, to be honest, the word fan base for someone with the amount of subscribers I have, I think is very cringe. I think it's very cringe in general, because at the end of the day, you're all people, individual people, and I see the same people, the same faces every day, and it's nice to see. So thank you for coming in, mate. I really appreciate all of you. So we've got Shorey, Josh, Tyler, Thomas, Wolves 81. We are Wolves indeed, mate. You are Wolves indeed. Welcome in Charlie as well. We've got Charlie in there. We've got Dylan. North Street's always in and around as well. Yeah, we've got a brilliant community at the moment. Is Tommy Asu a free agent? He is. Obviously, one that can play right back, left back, centre back, can also play in the sixth. And I actually think he's currently injured as well. As we speak. Obviously, Arsenal let him go. But yeah, he's currently injured, as always, which feels like has been the case for Tommy Asu, for Takahiro Tommy Asu, for a long time now, to be quite honest. It feels like he's been one of them players that for Arsenal has never really been able to get into the side. So yeah, he just seems like a bit of a mad one, really, to be fair. But yeah, I mean, he is a free agent, but like I say, the injury record is terrible. Also, we've got 34 people in here. Welcome in. You don't have to be a Wolves fan. It does not have to be a Wolves live. Just because you see a ticker tape there and you see Wolves fans in, it does not have to be that whatsoever. If you're any fan of any club, I'd like to think, good knowledge about a range of clubs. So, like I say, please get involved in the chat. I'll pin your chat. I'll pin your comment, and we'll have a discussion about it. So, yeah. And also, if I am lagging, I do apologise. I hope it's not lagging still. But we are lagging. Brilliant. I said I'd jump off if I started lagging that bad. But equally, I'm really enjoying the live, if I'm being completely honest. So, but yeah, like I say, it does not have to be Wolves related. Even if you're a Wolves fan and you don't want to talk about Wolves because it's a bit depressing at the minute, we can happily speak about anything else, really. But I'll probably be on till 12, so, another 9 minutes, let's say. So get your questions in, get your opinions in, get your thoughts in, because I will spark a friendly debate and we'll chat about it, really. The lag isn't that bad. Cool. That's okay then. Right. Who's your pick? What a great question here from James. Who's your pick for the 3 promoted teams in the Championship this season? So for me, playoff winners will be Blues. I think Blues' squad's unbelievable. I think their signing's been unbelievable. I think the manager's good. I think the already existing squad, they had players like Pike and Iwata, who were evidently Championship level, easily, comfortably good Championship level players as well. Christoph Clara as well. Clara, what a defender he was last year. I think they've managed to sign Ben Davies back, or they're definitely in talks to get Ben Davies back as well. Obviously, did well at Preston in the Championship previously as well. Liverpool's most pointless signing ever, though. But yeah, so for me, Blues, I think playoffs for Blues. So yeah, Blues for me will be the playoff winners, and then I think Ipswich, and it's hard. I think Leicester. Just because I'm a massive fan of Marty Cifuentes. Anyone who knows me knows that I will be flying the flag for Marty Cifuentes for a very long time and have been doing so. And also, Jeremy Monga looks absolutely electric in pre-season. And I think sort of that front three of Mavididi, Fatawu, Jeremy Monga, I think they'll be almost a bit like PSG's front three. And I know that sounds mad considering a Championship side. But in terms of interchange and intertwining and sort of all those positions moving around and not really having a set position, using sort of relationism in their positions, I think that Leicester will have a real shot next year. Can maybe push the poddy forward, mate? Did the meeting at work yesterday, so I'll get done and then I'm ready. Yeah, sound, Tyler, mate. Let me know. You're doing your best, Connor. All the best with your job. Thank you, mate. Appreciate that. It's funny enough, my job is in Wolves, so I'm going to be in and around the Molineux, pretty much right by the Molineux, really, not too far. So I'll be there, mate. I'll be there very regularly. And also, I was going to try and do a challenge where I try and collect a shirt from every football club. So that's something I'm going to try and set up because I've got a massive football shirt collection. If those of you didn't know, it's absolutely huge, to be quite honest. But I want to try and get a football shirt of every Premier League club, not because I support the clubs, but just to see if I can complete the challenge. I think it'd be a really cool challenge. And then also, if I could complete it, I might do them as giveaways as well, eventually in the future when we grow a bit more. If Leicester keep Christensen at left back, they'll be Christensen's top left back. Hermansen's another one. If they can keep Hermansen, they'll be absolutely flying. But that seems very unlikely. He was one of the best keepers in the league last season, despite them getting peppered. Hermansen's a top keeper. And again, if they can keep Hermansen, keep Christensen, keep Mavididi, Fatawu, and Jeremy Mongo, I don't think they'll lose Mongo anyway. I don't think they'll sell Mongo at all. But generally, Leicester, that squad is more than good enough. Ricardo Pereira, if he can stay fit, well, I mean, we've been saying that for a long time, but if Ricardo Pereira can stay fit, then scary times, especially under Cifuentes, as I've said. But yeah, I think it's exciting stuff. The Championship next season is exciting. The Premier League is, of course, exciting as well. So it's going to be interesting. Premier League. Ooh, what a question. Robin has said, the Premier League computer predicts Wolves will finish 17th in 25-26. Your thoughts? That is a cool question, mate. Really cool question. For me, I think Wolves will finish 15th or 14th, something like that. I don't think they'll be as bad off as they think. And also the computer predicts, will also predict, I think you'll be fine. I also think with the teams like Sunderland, for example, with AFCON and stuff, I think that'll have a bigger impact than people are making out. So, no, I think Wolves will be 14th, 15th. Next question from Josh. Know anything about the Spanish fella at right back we've been linked with? As you can see there, Juanlu Sanchez. Massive fan, Josh. Followed him for a long time. Followed him ever since he played in the UEFA Youth Cup. So a massive fan of Juanlu Sanchez. There will be a YouTube video coming out about him. I might jump off at 12, try and get that recorded before I do a podcast with Tyler, which probably will go out tomorrow now because I've got a very busy day tomorrow. I'm moving out of my place and moving back home. So not home, but back to Telford. So I'm moving away from Liverpool back to Telford tomorrow. So there's a lot going on, but I will make sure the video is scheduled for tomorrow as well. But if you would like to see a video on Juanlu Sanchez, put a 1 in the chat. I will speak about. I will do a video about Juanlu Sanchez if you want to see it. Put a 1 in the chat. Looks good business from Wolves for that David Müller-Wolfer fits the name too. Exactly, mate. John de Wolf as well. You had a few Wolves in your time, haven't you? A few Wolves in your time. But yeah, Juanlu Sanchez is a very, very exciting deal. Now, whether it goes through, I personally think it's very, very, very unlikely. And you lot know me, I'm I'm ever the optimist, but it's unlikely, unfortunately, because of the clubs he's been linked to in the past and the clubs he's linked to at the moment. But what a player. I will tell you a bit, since you did ask, Josh, about him. I will tell you a little bit before the video. His versatility is extremely impressive, mate. His ability not just to play right back, right wing, and right midfield, but he can also play as a left winger. We've seen he can play as a second striker, a number 10, an 8, a 6. So he's got that versatility to play all across the park. So I think that's something that, again, is something for Wolves to look at, and they definitely will have looked at when they're in for him. I'd be interested to see if Juanlu Sanchez was on Vitor Pereira's list that got leaked. I haven't checked that, but I would be interested to see if it is. Good look at Napoli, Mr. Sanchez. 1-1. Right, we've got a few ones then. So we will be doing a video on Juanlu Sanchez. I'm sure it'll be one that you'll all enjoy. Really hope you enjoy it. Anyway, I do hope you enjoy it. But I'm sure you will. It's not Jeff Shee though, mate. Like, Jeff Shee doesn't do the transfers, as I've said in my other videos. Like, as much as Jeff Shee is not a particularly great chairman and folks not particularly unbelievable owners, Domenico Tetti's been brought in to do a job, and he has to do his job ultimately. And the buck stops with him, really. One, right, okay. We're definitely doing a video on Juanlu Sanchez then, aren't we? Definitely. Would you like to see it this afternoon? Would you like to see it tomorrow? I think the risk of me putting it out tomorrow is the fact that it may be irrelevant by then, because he may have moved to Napoli or another club. So I think I probably will put that out this afternoon if that's something you'd like to see. I think the sort of 2-3 p.m. spot is quite nice for uploads. They tend to do quite well in and around that time. I think it's because obviously on Fridays as well, a lot of people finish their work early, or they have late lunch breaks as well. Like there's a lot of reasons for those uploads doing well, but I think on a Friday we'll definitely put one out. Also, though, I am going to the cinema at 8:30 tonight, so I better put it out before then. Jeff holds the purse strings. That's where we fall flat. Yeah, to an extent, yeah, but equally, again, it's not financially that Wolves can't compete. That's not the reason. Ultimately, it's about the negotiations often fall through, or they get hijacked. Like when you look at the players Wolves are in for in terms of the market, Samuel Lino, Juanlu Sanchez, Mark Pubier, all players that Wolves are shopping in the right markets for. It's just ultimately not completely, they're not completely all going through. Wolves can sign one midfielder. Realistically, who should we target? See, again, there's the homegrown issue. So the Josh Brownhill one, as I've said, makes sense. But in terms of other midfielders, I think Amadou Haidara from RB Leipzig would be unbelievable. And I also think you could convince him to say, look, you'll be starting in and out of the side for a year. Because ultimately, let's be honest, how long is Joao Gomez or Andre going to stay? One of them will probably be gone next summer, knowing the Wolves' self-sustainable model. So you could probably say to him, look, you'll be a year of sort of adapting to the Premier League, take the pressure off you, and then come in and hit the ground running, because I think Amadou Haidara is a top player. I really like him. And I have liked him for a number of years at Leipzig as well. Got massive big game experience as well. And also, the reason I say Amadou Haidara, by the way, is because his contract's expiring. I know that sounds ludicrous, but his contract is expiring. I think his market value is around 16 million euros. But obviously, he's got less than a year left on his deal. High Connor, it's Josh. See us smashing it at the minute. Wolves will be going for a forward in the next couple of weeks. Who do you see us going for? See, the forward thing's really tough. There's not that many links, which is concerning. In terms of forwards, the market is also not great, because all the top forwards have gone to clubs. In terms of forwards as well, what position are Wolves going to be looking at? My interesting thing is, obviously, Fer Lopez is a right-sided 10. He is, because he's left-footed, and that's his best position last season, and generally he operates best in that area. So for them Wolves to sign Arias and have him off the right as well, which is also his best position, seems wrong to me. It seems weird. So I'm very much of the opinion that Arias will play off the left next season. So ultimately, it's going to have to be a forward that can play multiple positions. I think Amin Adli would have been perfect, because he can play the 10, he can play the 9, he can play alongside a striker as well. But generally, yeah, the forward market's really poor, really. Hayden Hackney, this is a great one. Hayden Hackney, surely a sensible homegrown option. Also surprised we are looking at Tanganga for that quote as well. Yeah, well, the thing is, mate, with Hayden Hackney is he's already gone to Ipswich, pretty much. 15 million quid, by the way, I think it was, or 20 actually, I think. Which I know that sounds insane, 20 million in the Championship. It is the most expensive signing in the Championship as well. But 20 million for Hayden Hackney, even now, it's absolutely ridiculous business. And for him, it makes complete sense. Go there to a team that's likely to come back up. They've already got, some of the best players that will be in the Championship next season. Most of the best players will be in the Championship. Come up, then either stay in the Premier League. Either way, he gets to the Premier League. Hayden Hackney would have been absolutely ridiculous. Now the deal's, all but confirmed, really. He's undergoing a medical soon, I believe. But yeah, Hayden Hackney would have been a great signing, but I don't think that's going to happen now. I don't think we'll see links until Guedes is actually out the door. Fabio's essentially gone. Sasa, Huang, all concerns. We're still not to assume we do get a forward. I think a left 10 is a must. That's the thing, Josh. It's my interesting thing is I don't know how Wolves are going to line up next season because, like I say, Arias's best footballs come off the right, but Fer Lopez's best positions off the right as well. So I'd probably be looking at another left-sided option, yeah, just in case. Because that right side seems done now. Manetzi's played off as the right 10. Fer Lopez played as a right 10. John Bellegarde's played as a right 10. And obviously Jean Arias is a right-sided player. So yeah, the left side feels like the next priority really for Wolves. I think. Is there any news on Adley? Adley, it looks like Sunderland are in for him, but again, I don't think I think he's going to stay at Leverkusen, and don't think much will happen with him. But equally, could be very surprising. Sunderland just go and snap him up. I think this one is a big tell for where Arias will play. Can't wait to see Wolfer as well. I don't think Wolfer will play because he's got obviously having his medical today. I suppose he could still fly out, have his medical today, and still fly out to this thing today, but it'd be unlikely. I do think he'll be there. Maybe I think he'll fly out with the squad. I don't know if he'll play though. I don't think he'll play. But yeah, I think Arias will play, and it'll be nice to see where he plays. I think this, like you say, this weekend's a big tell for that. Wolfer due for Vigo, I think. Expect him on the bench. Exactly, Joshy. Yeah, I will be at the Celta Vigo game as well. If anyone was wondering, not sure anyone was wondering. To be honest, people probably don't care. But I will be at the Celta Vigo game as well, so it'll be nice to get back to the Molineux for the first time this season so far. Obviously, not been any opportunities really to go to the Molineux, but yeah, I will be back there. I will be back there on the 9th. What's your opinion on the keeper situation? See, for me, Josh again, both Joshes actually. I'll highlight Josh's one first. They're both called Josh, but I'll highlight Josh Glazer's one first. Yeah, for me, I think Sarr has improved massively since Vitor Pereira came in and looked better. But equally, I've always said about Sarr, and on this channel, I've said about Sarr on Twitter for numerous years. I like Sarr. I think his shot stopping is decent. Other than that, he concerns me, and he has a clanger in him. So I'd keep Sarr for this season, steady the ship, because it's absolutely not one of the biggest priorities this summer. But equally, again, you have to look at it from a perspective of there's a Jose Sarr injury away from having Dan Bentley or Tom King in goal, or Sam Johnston, but I think he'll leave. So ultimately, a Jose Sarr injury away from Tom King or Dan Bentley. And actually, I'd probably have Tom King over Dan Bentley, to be honest with you, Jesus. But yeah, it's I think it's a situation that'll be addressed in the next 18 months. So I think, or I'd hope. I did say I was going to jump off at 12, but I'm quite enjoying this. But I just hope it's not lagging. Let me know if it is lagging. I hope it's not. But yeah. I hope you're all enjoying this live, more importantly, as well. And people will be watching this back. So yeah. Mandas, you're on about Mandas Lazio's keeper, mate? Or you're on about another one? Would you have Adama Traore back, buddy? Not particularly. Don't get me wrong. They still haven't really replaced Traore, to be fair. But no, I don't think Traore would improve any of the glaring issues that Wolves have got, to be honest, mate. I mean, he did play a few games at wing back, to be fair, and looked relatively decent. But yeah, yeah, I don't think Traore solves any of the glaring issues, to be honest, mate. It stopped lagging. Great, amazing. Of course we are. Your numbers are going up. Yeah, Mandas, 23 as well. One thing I like about Mandas is the fact that he's a young keeper. Physically, his stature's quite impressive. Obviously, the Greek national keeper as well. Well, obviously, I mean, technically not. I mean, he gets in the side, but obviously Vlachodimos plays a lot as well. But that Brazilian centre half definitely signing. Not guaranteed, Robert Renan, mate. No, and there are a lot of sticking points, obviously, with regards to also him playing for Zenit and the Russian sort of issues going on there as well with the laws of Premier League and stuff like that. But Wolves have been interested in him for a long time. That's all what we know. And it looks like they're back in the hat for him again. And they've put that. It looks like they've. Well, it says people are saying, the journalists are saying that they've stalled the deal between him and the club that he was going to try and get Wolves in there. Really. Thank you for a well balanced video. Appreciate that, mate. Thank you. Cheers, mate. Thank you for the nice comment. How much do you reckon it'd take for Toon to take Strand Larsen? 50 mil? At least 50. But again, would Wolves just take 50? Probably, with the way that you sort of deal in the market, really. It's quite embarrassing, but you probably would, yeah. They probably will take 50. If 50 came in, they'd take it, I think, the owners. I think they'd take it. Which I don't think they should, but I think it's likely. Do you know what I mean? Also, this is some massive news. You lot probably don't care. And fair enough to you if you don't. But thank you for all the support. It's been absolutely nuts. We are now at 1,400 subscribers. And someone's unsubscribed. What a comedian. But no, thank you for all the support, man. I appreciate you all. Honestly, it's been insane so far. Jamie Vardy for one season. Nah, not for me. Not for me, mate. Also doesn't have a great relationship with Wolves either, really. Class comment from you, mate. Class comment from you. Strange. Very strange. Cheers, Lions, mate. I appreciate the kind words. Has to be 80 mil plus. I mean, I think 60 or 70 would do it. I think 60 would do it. Yeah, I think 60 would do it. That's the thing, Josh. That's what I agree with, mate. I agree with you on that front, definitely. I don't see them, after one season, turning down doubling their money. Do you know what I mean? I don't see that happening. Do you think Sanchez is an upgrade on Pubia? Mate, definitely. Definitely for me personally. They're both part of that under-21 squad for Spain as well. But yeah, for me, Sanchez is better, mainly because I think he's more comfortable on the ball. I think in terms of his versatility, that's another thing that is a massive, massive benefit for Sanchez. Sanchez can play off the right, can play as a 6, can play as an 8, can play as a 10, can play as a second striker, can play off the left. He's done it in all of those positions. So, yeah, Sanchez is an upgrade for numerous reasons. And I will do a video about Juanlu Sanchez. So do stay tuned for that. That will be coming out probably. I'll jump off at like 20 past 12, record it, edit it, thumbnail it. Be out at 2. Shall we say 2? Schedule it for 2? 2, half 2, 3? Something like that. We will get a Juanlu Sanchez video out today, nonetheless. So do stay tuned for that. And also, if you haven't already, make sure to put your notifications on as well, because that notifies you whenever I upload as well, which is useful, very useful to have. So then you know and you can stay up to date with my content. And I know a lot of you do come from Twitter as well, so feel free to follow me on there as well. You'll find all my stuff. I've seen people calling for Silva to come back into the mix, but nobody's learned that he doesn't want to be here. This is a good point, really. I don't hate this. Silva's massively dividing opinion, isn't he, at the minute? And he always has, really, since he came to Wolves, to be honest. At the end of the day, like, Wolves, if I'm Wolves, I'm selling him, personally, just based off the fact that he's never pulled up trees at the Molineux. He doesn't suit Premier League football, in my personal opinion. And it's while his stock's the highest it's been since Wolves actually bought him, in terms of how much his value is. It's the highest it's been since Wolves bought him. So I just think it makes complete sense to cut their losses. And actually, really, when you consider loan fees and stuff, I actually think Wolves will break even or be in profit for Fabio Silva over the duration of it. Obviously, take wages into account. But I mean, in terms of fees, I think it'll be reasonable. So, yeah, I don't think it's I don't think he should personally stay, but that's just me. I want Fabio to stay, but only if he wants to stay. Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't think he does, really. I don't think he's ever really give that attitude, personally. Yes, how are we, mate? Sativa Breeder. Welcome in, mate. Hope you're well. Your name always makes me laugh. I don't know why. Don't know why. Very mature. But yeah, we'll go back to this comment, though. I do think he is an upgrade, yes. I do think he's more ready-made as well. And also, you have to remember, he's played a lot more high-level football, Sanchez, over the last few years than Pubia. Obviously, Pubia came in the season that Almeria, I didn't came in, sort of bled through, of course, in the season Almeria got relegated. Then Almeria got relegated and got promoted back to La Liga last season with him in the side. But generally, Juanlu Sanchez has been playing for Sevilla now for about a year and a half, 2 years. And obviously that counts for something in my opinion. Don't know much about YouTube, mate, but when watching the Volfa video was class, by the way, I'd say you could maybe take more breaks between speech and edit out the pause, if that makes sense. Love the work, though. Yeah, thanks, mate. Appreciate it, yeah. It does. The thing is, yeah, it does take a bit more time to edit. And I think the reason I don't edit out the pauses, mate, is because, like, my content's natural and it's all sort of like how, it's all very quite opinion based and sort of a lot of it's emotionally invested as well in the content, really. But so in terms of that, I don't cut a lot of it out because I want it to seem as natural as possible, really. Yeah, completely agree. Lions, completely agree with you there, mate. Completely agree. Oh, come on, he's been given so many chances, Fabio, especially from us, the fans, still too naive at times. Yeah, I do think he should go, mate. I do think he should go for me. Harry, mate, how are you? I hope you're enjoying Benidorm, I believe. No, not Benidorm. Is it Benidorm? I swear it's Benidorm. Might be Mallorca, actually. I think it's Benidorm, though. I hope you're enjoying it, mate. It's really, really nice to see you in, mate. Obviously, a lot of people in my comments and Twitter and stuff have been asking to sort of for us to get on a podcast or start doing a few chats and that. So I'm happy to do it if you are, mate. But obviously, it's a bit of a mad one for me. I think it's good, I was saying, with regards to my content. A lot of sort of outside people don't really get why I do so much Wolves content, but ultimately, like, I'm very clued up on the subject, of course. I think, anyway. I like to think. I've got fan opinion, got family opinion, got my, 20, nearly 23 years on this planet of being in and around Wolves people, journalists, mates in the community as well, and like content creators and stuff. So I'm sort of in the middle of that. And obviously I can provide an opinion without having too much of an emotional investment on it, as opposed to a lot of Wolves fans. So people don't really get why I'm doing Wolves content, but that is the reason, really. It's the fact that, it's in the middle. I'm sort of in the middle of all of it, really, and I don't have an emotional opinion. So my opinions and sort of content can be more informed, I suppose. But yeah, I'll definitely chat to you, mate, Harry, 100%, mate. Appreciate the kind words, though, mate, 100%. If you want to get on ever at any point, let me know, mate. And also, I could get you on these as well, start doing sort of collaborative lives with people, because I know that they tend to be quite enjoyable for some. Could Fabio or Guedes be using the Sanchez deal with Seville? Probably. Obviously, Sevilla lost En-Nesyri last summer to Fenerbahce as well. But generally, I don't think they need a 9 that much. And then Guedes looks like he's going to Real Sociedad. So I don't think either of them will be, but they maybe could be. Sativa Breed, you two would rock it. Come on, boys, get it on. I'm sure we will at some point, mate. I'm sure we will at some point. Yeah, Luke, he's a different profile to Aït-Nouri, but again, an exciting player nonetheless, and a player that I think improves the side. So that's the main thing, isn't it? Thank you, Stephen, as well, for the comment, mate. Love your content. I really appreciate the kind words, mate. I do try to make it exciting. Poor fella forced into the Wolves scene. I've always been involved in the Wolves scene, mate, since I was younger, and I've always had good contacts in the Wolves scene. I've always, I spoke to the journalists and stuff. And when I started my sports journalism course in 2021, I always got built up my contacts in the West Midlands. Did a lot of work around the West Mids as well. So yeah, I'm sort of, like I say, I'm in the middle of all the chaos, really. It's nice because I don't have an emotional investment, particularly on the topics that people get so frustrated about. But because I know people who do, I sympathise. And also, to an extent, I get a bit emotionally frustrated as well about things as well. So just from seeing the way that it like impacts people I care about, really, and who care about Wolves. So yeah, Josh, quite high odds really for Sanchez. But again, I'd like to see Wolves be in for him at least. Benidorm, yeah, it's really good to watch an outside perspective and like how knowledgeable you are. Yeah, no problem. I'll come on. Amazing, Harry, mate. I'd love to chat to you, mate. And throughout the season, I'm sure we'll chat as well. I think the thing is, it's exciting because the season's just starting. There's so much content to talk about, so many games to talk about as well. So it'd be nice to chat to you. And I'll be around the Molineux a lot. I do get a lot of tickets with my mate and a lot of tickets in general. So I probably will start vlogging them as well because, like I say, when I go to Liverpool games or games abroad for holidays and stuff, like I don't record them because I have an emotional connection to them or I just want to be in the moment with them. Whereas with Wolves, like I care about it and I'll still sing the songs and stuff and I'll still get involved with the fans and that, and I'll still, get involved in the fan base. And ultimately, like, my family are all Wolves, so I'm not that fussed about it really. But yeah. Yeah, it was out of the blue. Yeah, the Arias stuff was going on for a while. Some people thought Arias had been hijacked. Love your content. Thank you, Jaden, mate. Appreciate that a hell of a lot, mate. Thank you. No way. Hang on, what is going on here? The Wolf Pack. This is unbelievable. Thank you, mate. Welcome in. Love your analysis of the players. Hopefully we can fill in some of these much needed empty spots, eh? Keep it up. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, mate. I appreciate that. I think with regards to content, I'm just generally not sort of, I don't know, like, I think it's because I've got, like I say, I'm in that sweet spot in the middle where I don't have the ridiculously emotional stuff. And obviously I've studied football for years now, like studied it on a proper level where to the point where I actually understand it quite well. And obviously, going to uni massively does that and helps that for you. So I appreciate people speaking about my sort of knowledge and analysis and stuff like that. That does mean a lot, mate, honestly. But it's nice to see you in, mate. Really nice to see you in, Dan. It's it's an honour, to be honest. Got all the big Wolves lads in here now. Obviously the Wolf Pack we're in here. We've got Harry in here. It's mad, really. I appreciate you all taking me in as well. It's great, absolutely great. And like I say, I think I'll probably, as I've got older, I've tended to just look at football as a sport and not as I don't get as emotionally invested as I used to, like, especially when Liverpool used to lose. Like, if Liverpool used to lose, I'd just go and sit in my bedroom when I was a kid and just not talk to anyone and just wouldn't bother. Whereas now, like, I just look at all of football and just enjoy all of football for what football is and enjoy the club and enjoy the fans and stuff. So, like, I think I'm maturing probably, and I just don't really care for the anger of it. So that's why I love doing content about the Wolves, like I said, because I feel like I'm quite well clued up on the stuff and the ongoings. Watch Dan when you go to the Wolves. Steve Bull, mate, most of the time. My mate's season tickets in the Steve Bull. So, yeah, usually Steve Bull. Do you think John Larson will lead to Newcastle? No, mate, I don't. Wolfpack and Mansell in the house. Tell me about it, mate. Got all the big guns in, mate. All the big guns in. Love the content, mate. Truly a great watch every time. Thank you, Victor, mate. I appreciate that. David Orson just tweeted about Isak. Do not have it. Do not have me on here. Hey, I tell you what. We'll have a look. Oh, we'll have a look. Of course, we'll have a look. Sorry, lads. I understand this is not Wolves, okay? I understand that. But Liverpool's made an offer for Isak. And I cannot talk about it. That'll be all we speak about. That's all we're going to speak about it. We're going to pretend nothing's happened. Is there truth in the Spanish wing back? Juanlu Sanchez, yes, there seems to be, mate. Yes, hopefully, anyway. If we get the players we want in there, where do you think we could finish? I think Wolves could finish 12th or 13th if they address all the issues. I don't think all the issues will be addressed, and I still think there'll be a few random players kept about and that. But I think if everything is solved, I think 12th or 13th, maybe 11th would be a really good finish. But as I say, that is if everything happens that needs to happen. About to get a Sanchez deal done, possibly. Potentially, mate. Yeah, potentially. I do think we need. Yeah, it has been rejected. Yeah, but Liverpool will come back 100%. Anyway, it's not about Liverpool. I do think we need another decent left-sided centre back. Relying on Totti will be very risky. I do agree. That's why I think I know it's not much. I know it's not very concrete. But the Renan stuff I like a lot. It's the reliability of the source that's the issue, and of course, but we do know that Wolves have liked him for a long time. I think he was on Vitor's list as well, which I don't know how to feel about Vitor Pereira's list being public for as long as it has, because 90% of the players that you're linked to or signing are on it. So is that not like concerning? A bit concerning, because if I'm an outsider of another club, I'm looking at and thinking, I can see a clear profile here. Like, if you're looking at all the players, you just look at all the players that they want, and then look at all the profiles, break it down, and just do your real sort of due diligence and look at it and go, well, these are the profiles they want. This is how they're going to play next season, or this is how they're going to play with these players coming in. Like, I don't know. I still feel like there's a few things you can pick out from that list, really. But yeah, rejected though. Yes, it was, mate. How many signings will we need to finish good in the Premier League? So let's count Volfer as one. That the left wing back's done now, I think. Yeah, I did see that. The Wolfpack, yeah. So the left wing back is done if Volfer comes in. Still need a right wing back, in my opinion. As I've said, Bueno and Hervé, really good, right? Really good in terms of backup. If you're going into the season with Bueno and Hervé as your backup, you're in good shape. If they're starting, not so much. So another right wing back, a left-sided centre back, a midfielder, and someone in that forward area. That is the bare minimum. And then you're probably looking at you're looking at squad depth there massively. And as I said, the midfielder will be the part of that squad depth as well. I still think depth is needed massively. Renan is Vitor's man. Spot on, Wolfpack, spot on. Nice to see you in, Dan. I really appreciate that. We'll have to chat sometime, whether that be on my channel or yours, but we'll have to chat, mate. I'm sure we can sort something out if you're willing. I know you're a much bigger channel than me, mate, so I don't expect you to do anything, but it would be nice to chat to you one day. And I'm in Spain too. Club Farmers keep saying you're Alberto's talking towards. Don't know if it's true. Brilliant. Hi Artem, mate. Nice to see you, mate. Hope you're well. Still waiting on the Fabio Silva redemption. It'd be nice to wear one of the Fabio shirts. I spent 140 quid on when he first signed. Never going to happen though, unfortunately. Oh, it's Jack. This is my mate who I go to the games with. This is my mate who I go to the games with. He has an obsession with Fabio Silva. He doesn't want him to stay, but when he did sign, he was all in on the Fabio Silva train. Choo choo! The Fabio Silva train has left the station, and he did well and truly get on the Fabio Silva train. He committed. Let's just say he committed, and I think he wants to commit in another way now, having done so, having spent that much money. But let's move on. Do you think Rodrigo Gomez could replace Semedo because I think he's too good not to start? I don't think he's too good not to start, mate. No, I don't think he's too good not to start. I do think he's a really good option, though. I think he's got off both flanks as well. I think he could play at left back a lot more this season. He did do that before he moved to Wolves. So, left wing back. So I do think he's an option for both sides. I don't think he's too good not to start, though. I do think he could also be one of the forward options. I'd like to see him play further up. I did say as well, left-sided depth in terms of forward area is something Wolves should look at as well once all the priority positions are done. So for me, again, I think he could play as that left-hand side, as well. I still think we need to shake things up in goal. I think you're spot on, Wolfpack. I've been very public about what I keep calling him Wolfpack as if it's not Dan, but I keep. I've been very sort of firm on my stance with Jose Sá, let's say, over the years. Decent shot stopper, and I think he had improved since Vitor Pereira came in, but ultimately Wolves are giving away less chances when Pereira came in, so ultimately he's going to look better, isn't he? For me, I think he's the one in the next 18 months that after all the positions are done, he should be the next one that is improved on. Also his age as well. I know it's not old for a goalkeeper, but you want him to be able to improve in those areas, and he's absolutely one of them areas that Wolves can improve on. Juanlu Sanchez or Robert Renan? Both, mate. Ideally. Don't be soft. Oh, sorry, I think you mean daft, but same different. Both of them work. Join us when we're back. We're on YouTube hiatus at the moment, working some things out. When we're back 100%, just stuff for a poddy. Yeah, sound, mate. Sounds good to me. I'll have to join you, mate. What I'll do is as well, I'll try and get you on as well. When you're back, I'll try and get you on my sort of stuff. Obviously, I know it's probably going to be difficult because you're on a hiatus at the minute, but we will definitely sort something out, mate. Assuming John DeWolf signs. To be competitive, we need a left centre-back, a top-quality right-back, a physical midfielder, a versatile forward, and that's the bare minimum. That's what I tend to agree with, really. Yeah. Rodrigo will have a big season for us. I think he's brilliant. I just don't know how much he'll play in the side. But yeah, I agree with this one, Jonah. I'd prefer Rodrigo to play further up the pitch as well. And he has the same concerns for me when he plays full wing back as Hugo Bueno. Like, I have absolutely zero doubt Bueno's exceptional going forward. I think he's really, really good for a fullback. I think his crossing's superb, and I think it's really, really good. But equally, again, his lack of defensive awareness and his lack of physical stature massively, massively matter when playing that position. Especially when you're under the cosh, as much as Wolves have been in recent times as well. Yes, we will sort it out, mate. Thank you. I appreciate you being in, mate, as well. We may need to look for a number 9 soon. Unsure how long Larson will stay. Larson will stay, mate. Even if Isak, I mean, the Isak stuff's obviously accelerated now today. If the Isak deal goes through, then you know, it probably worry, but I don't think you should worry too much. Don't sleep on Pedro Lima, baller. See, I like Pedro Lima, me, Dan. I'm a massive fan of Pedro Lima. I do still think he's crying out for a loan, though, personally. I don't think he's going to get the minutes. I don't think he's better than Hervé yet currently either. And I know that might sound controversial, but Hervé's done it for 91 games on loan in the last 3 years, and he's looked really, really good wherever he's gone. Especially at Stoke, really, really impressive. Auxerre, he impressed me as well. So I think for me, I think he could do with a loan. And then I think bring him in next season. I think you could do with a championship loan or a physically demanding league, personally. Although equally, I do think he'd fit a loan where it would benefit his development on the ball, like a Spain or something. But I do think he would suit a loan to the championship where it's a bit more physically demanding in terms of size and stature. Newcastle just rejected the deal. Yeah, there's no doubt Liverpool will go back in for Isak, though. Absolutely zero doubt about that. It was a 120 million package plus add-ons. So, yeah. So, essentially, Liverpool will probably go back in for 130 plus add-ons or 140 plus add-ons. And imagine it'll probably get done, to be honest. They were just lowballing at the minute, I think. So, Lima needs a loan. Yeah, I somewhat agree. Future star, I also agree with that, mate. Larson's value is 60 million. He had one less Premier League goal than Cunha. He is staying. Yeah, he's definitely going to stay. 100% going to stay. This season, 100%. Favourite league to watch outside of England? Ooh, what a question. Now, on my uni course, my main leagues I studied were, of course, the Premier League. I did a lot of La Liga, did a lot of Liga Portugal, did a lot of Eredivisie, did a lot of the Championship. Obviously, that's not outside of England, but it's outside the main league in England. And I did a lot of the MLS. So any of them really, but I love the Eredivisie just because I love seeing, how often the conveyor belt of talent is every year. There's so much talent coming out of the clubs. I mean, you think of, like, for example, Feyenoord. They've had some great, really exciting players over the years. They had Sinisterra at one point. He was absolutely flying at Feyenoord. They had Igor Paisao, who's obviously going to be moving to... Where was he moving to? He was going to Leeds, but he's moving on somewhere else. Was it Marseille? No, can't remember Marseille. Somewhere, anyway. So yeah, I like Eredivisie a hell of a lot, mate. Watching footy for a uni course, sign me up. It's sports journalism, mate. I did sports journalism. So it was just basically me being a nerd for 3 years. It was class. Do you think Mosquera will start? When he's fit, yes. But no, not well. I think start of the season it will be Doherty, yeah. Rodrigo better as a winger. Lima not ready, needs a loan. I pretty much agree with that whole comment, Stephen, to be honest. Gonna have to go, mate. Keep it up. See you around. Thank you, mate. Cheers, Dan, mate. Take it easy. I appreciate you being in. It's nice to see so many people welcoming me in, really. It's really nice to see, especially the bigger accounts, really. Do you ever look at any South American leagues? Yes, mate. I watched a lot of the Argentinian and Brazilian leagues. Also Mexico, I dipped my toes into as well. I've got a Guadalajara shirt as well for Mexico, funnily enough. I could probably try and dig that out, actually. If you give me 1 second, I'll try and find my Guadalajara shirt because it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool shirt. So, I wasn't a fan of the Puma template kits they did a few years ago. The City one, the Dortmund one, they were pretty naff. But I have to say, I do like the Guadalajara one, hence why I bought it when I went on holiday to Florida, funnily enough. But yeah, this is the Guadalajara shirt. It's really nice. I don't know if you can see it, but it's got like the Guadalajara badge detailed in there. There's about 957 sponsors, which you do tend to get with South American shirts. But yeah, there's loads of sponsors on the back as well. But yeah, so I've watched a fair bit of South American football, mate. My dream job, this, really, mate. My dream job is this. To be honest, I've always enjoyed creating content. I've been doing it for a long time. I'm getting a lot better at that now. So this would be my dream job one day. Very unlikely because it's so hard to grow in the YouTube space, but that would be my dream job, 100%. But I am starting a new job soon, so there's also that as well. But got a Chivas shirt as well, my first mystery jersey. Nice, man, nice. I need to start doing them. I need to start reaching out to companies for them, actually. Because when I had my old account on TikTok, I used to get sent mystery shirts, so you might still get sent some. You never know. You never know. Might have a chance. Might have a chance of getting sent some if the trajectory carries on. Wouldn't you like to do something like what Liam Keane does? I'd love to do what Liam Keane does. I've done what Liam Keane does, Josh. I've done it for years on my course. I've always been around the grounds. I did Dave Edwards' testimonial was a nice one, media day. I did Birmingham. I've done loads of ones at Blues. Probably the biggest one that stands out at Blues was Blues versus Burnley. The season they came up with Vincent Kompany. I was in the press box with Johnny Phillips, funnily enough, for that one. I'm sure most 90% of you Wolves fans will know Johnny. I was in the press box with Johnny that day for Sky. Spoke to Vincent Kompany, Troy Deeney after the game. He was still playing from that point. Spoke to Vincent Kompany, spoke to Goodmanson, Ashley Barnes. So I've done what Liam Keane does, mate. But I'd love to do it again. I'd like to get back into it at some point. But a lot of it's writing, and I stopped doing my writing as much to pursue video journalism and content like that. So yeah, I don't know. Not for me overly really, but I'd still like to get back into the industry at some point in the future. If Strand Larsen goes, do you think we'll be relegated? No. Even then, I don't think you would. Actually, maybe, but no, I don't think he'll leave. I don't think he'll leave this summer anyway. I'll tell you that. But I did say I was going to jump off at about 12:20, and it's now 12:36. So what I'll do is I will jump off in 4 minutes. I do need to jump off in 4 minutes, but there's 61 of you in here. I really appreciate you being in. If you're not already as well, please subscribe to the channel. We are trying to get to 1.5k before the Premier League season starts, which I know sounds very unlikely, and it is very unrealistic, and it is extremely hard. But I'm not prepared to give up just yet. To be fair, I want to make this this YouTube thing work, and obviously we're trying it a hell of a lot. So if you aren't subscribed, please subscribe. I think we're about four followers away from like 1,410. Subscribers away from 1,410. So if there's 4 of you out of the 54 of you in here who aren't subscribed, I would really appreciate it. I really would. Like I say, I think probably maybe 1 or 2 more people subscribe. We might have it. You never know. If there's one person, I think we're away now. If we just check, let's just have a look what we're on. We're currently on 1,408. Well, that'd be good if you could see it, wouldn't it? 1,408. So if 1,409. If one person could subscribe, we'll be at 1,410, which would be absolutely insane. Nice one, mate. See you later, Josh, mate. Take it easy. How many more signings do you think Wolves are going to make? 4 is my prediction. 4 on top of Wolfer. Now, that is very optimistic, I am well aware, but I'm ever the optimist. I'm ever the optimist. So, also, one subscriber away from 1,410. So, before we go off in 3 minutes' time, could we get one subscriber in that time? That is the question. There's 46 people in here. If you haven't seen my content before, I'd like to think it's quite well informed and quite enjoyable to watch. People in the comments can let you know what their opinions are, but I like to think the content's enjoyable to watch. That's the goal of it anyway. So there we go. We have hit it, 1,410. Thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate you all. And I think that's a good note to end it on, really. I think a lot of people are dipping off as well. So what do you think of this Millwall striker? You're doing a great job. Cheers, Mark. Appreciate that. Look forward to the next stream. See you later, Stephen. Yeah, Millwall striker Ivanovic, I assume you're on about. I like him a lot, mate. He's very physical, very similar to Larson in a few ways, but a bit more mobile. But generally, yeah, I quite like Ivanovic as a striker, and I think he's quite appealing for Wolves, to be honest. When you next be live, it'll be impromptu. It'll be whenever I can and will, really, mate. But what I will do is I will inform you all on Twitter. So if you don't know Twitter, also what you can do, Jaden, if you don't have Twitter, you can just put the notification bell on. And I'd urge all of you to do this if you haven't already. Switch notification bell on YouTube. Click the bell. It'll say enable notifications. Enable the notifications for my channel. And then when I go live, post a video, any of that, you'll be the first to know. So that is the best way to gauge when I will be live. The most reliable way to gauge when I'll be live is through that medium. So if you do decide you want to see more content, then there you go. Rules, Thomas. Are Brentford are in trouble? What a good question to end it on. We'll end it on that. Brentford could be, but I spoke to a Brentford fan the other day, Will. There's a video on my channel speaking to the Brentford fan, the Brentford Hive. What a top guy. I spoke to him the other day and he said that they won't be. He said that they'll get their deals done later on in the window. And also they've had a decent window. I know they're going to lose a few big players and Bumo and Viss are massive, but Igor Thiago's come back. Fabio Carvalho will be bled into the team this season. So yeah, I think they'll be fine. But yeah, thank you all for watching today. I really appreciate you all. It's been a hell of a ride, I'd say. And thank you all for watching very much. I really do appreciate all of you. I'm sure we will be live at some point in the near future, probably this weekend at some point, maybe later on today, you never know. But I am going to the cinema to watch Fantastic Four, finally. So thank you all for watching. I really do appreciate you watching it today. I really do hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you all have a nice rest of your weekend, a nice rest of your day as well. If I don't speak to you, I'm sure I will. There'll be a video on Juanlu Sanchez in the next 2 or 3 hours. So stay tuned for that as well. I'm sure you'll be excited for it. And I will see you in the next one. See you later.